Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John from Volkswagen Planet, coming to you from Tampa, Florida on the day before Super Bowl Sunday, which is actually here in the Tampa Bay area. It's currently 75 degrees, and today I'm going to show you and hopefully take you guys along in this year's project. This is going to be a 1968 Autostick Beetle. We are going to do a medium class restoration on this. It's not going to be a daily driver, a little bit better than daily driver, but nowhere near a show car. So hopefully you'll hit that subscribe button, come along with us. It's been about 20 years now, way overdue. So hopefully you can join our adventure in restoring this. Hopefully learn a couple things about auto sticks, how they work, the ups and downs of them, the ins and outs, and so on. So this video is basically just going to be a quick introduction of the car. Like I said, we are meaning me and a couple of my friends are going to lend me a hand. We're going to do some body work on this. We are going to I don't know if we're going to go through the engine and transmission, but we're going to make it a really good, reliable car so we can take it to the car shows. We do have a car show with American cars here in the Tampa Bay area. Hope to go to that. I think it's every Tuesday night. Maybe take the wife out, get some dinner, let everybody enjoy the car. There's only one other Volkswagen. So, well, all that besides all the small talk, let's get back to the car, which you guys have clicked on the video to watch anyways. So again, for those of you who don't know about this car, I bought this car in 2001. Yeah, 20 years ago. And this car has been to a couple body shops. But let me back up a story a little bit first. I bought this car, could not understand how to drive the auto stick. So my stepfather, God bless his soul, he's passed on. He grabbed the keys one day, grabbed my daughter when she was 3 years old, hopped in the car, put thousands of miles on this car, took her to grab some ice cream, and all I can remember was her giggling and them having a great old time. So how can you get rid of a car like that? It's been in the family ever since then. I bought the car from my next door neighbor who bought this thing brand new. So again, how can you go wrong? So I'm going to take you on a tour today from front all the way to the back. So you guys can see what's going to get done, how much is going to get done. I'm probably going to give you guys a really in-depth, like as far as how long a specific job took, the actual cost at the time of video. So it's going to be a pretty interesting video. Again, about the 68 auto stick, not just the car, the Beetle, but also the specifics, ins and outs of the auto stick, meaning like the servo, show you how the stick shift is different, the different type of gas pedals it has, and maybe you even have a auto stick that's been converted over to a manual. So hit that like button, subscribe, comment below, do what you want, but let's get back to the video. Starting in the front, this car has been to two body shops. As you can see right here, this is a aftermarket apron. It's a little bit under janky, but I'm going to show you the lines here. It just needs, to be finished. So I'm probably just going to keep this on here, but I gave the body shop a brand new front apron after 2 years and a couple $1,000s wasted. They went out and spent, maybe 40 or 50 bucks for this apron, installed it real quick, took my money, took my parts, but it was a life lesson learned. So I just stuck this in here so I wouldn't lose the parts, but I'm going to give you guys a quick little look on what is actually we're going to be dealing with. This is the factory wiring cover. And all the spaghetti wires, but it's in pretty good shape overall. It's a pretty solid car. Put that back in there. Even still has the cardboard glove box. The fenders are a little bit rusted out on the buckets, on your adjustment screws. So I do have another set of aftermarket fenders. I just don't see spending the time because, like I said, there's some rust, and we're just not going to go through that deep of a restoration, but it's going to be done right. Probably going to put some pans on it, fix the small details, but like I said, not make it a driver, a little bit better than a driver, but nowhere near the perfection of like a custom car or something crazy like that. I did have a couple long conversations with the wife to make sure the funds are available, and the only thing that's stopping this car is two things: my ambition and my lack of knowledge. So I need you guys to keep me motivated, and the lack of knowledge between you guys' videos out there and the Bentley, which is, you guys know, is the Bible of the business, will hopefully help us through all that. So back to the car. It's a pretty solid car overall. Show you the parts that do rust. Like I said, it's not... Sorry for the backlight, guys, but the inner fender well is solid. This right here is a skim coat on the car. It's not all Bondo, so you can hear a little bit of filler into it. But the car came from Illinois, so you know it's going to have a lot of rust on this part right here, because this was the side of the road, and that's where all the salt lies. But down here on the post is solid. Let me open the doors here. Got a little bit of sag going on. Let's see here. So a little bit of sag. When the door closes, you can tell it's wanting to jump a little bit. See how it's wanting to jump? But it does close smooth overall. So we'll fix that. What that is it's either a loose hinge or the bolts need to be tightened up. But again, we'll take care of that. Really solid roof. Now, when this car, let's see, it probably would have been 1970 or 71. The owner's son backed out of a driveway up north. The car slid and hit a mailbox. So the mailbox came and hit this. This part right here has been had some issues addressed to it. It was from the actual dealer did the work. Not saying that that's the best situation, but that's what happened in 1970. It was this part right here was smacked by a mailbox. The lower quarters, again, you can tell it's got a little bit of putty onto it. And let's see if I can find my magnet real quick. All right, guys, we're back. So this is a good way to tell how much Bondo or body filler is actually in your car. You take a magnet, and before you do this to someone's car you go to buy, make sure you ask them. You can tell the magnet is actual sticking to the car, but when you get to here, you can tell there's a little bit of filler in it because it's not sticking as well. But this is solid. As you can tell, the magnet is sticking to this. Same with up here in this area. It's nice and solid, where these are usually packed full of Bondo. But I know there is some filler in here. Like right here, you can tell there's some because it's barely sticking. But again, I'm trying to be as transparent as possible. So more than likely, this will be good enough depending on what's behind that. As we can tell by looking at the left rear quarter under the window, nice and good metal up here. For those of you who watch other YouTube channels, doesn't this kind of look like Jawbreaker? Same color car. You can tell by the different layers of putty, primers, and everything else. So if you get a chance, check his channel out too. Jawbreaker, great guy, Gary. He's done a lot for me, done a lot for others. Great channel, check him out. Named VW Jawbreaker. So let's get back to the video. So back here, as you can tell, there was some kind of patch panel or something put in here, and here's what I'm talking about, guys. Look, this is Bondo, or this is some kind of filler where it's not metal. For those of you who are buying Volkswagens or have already know, this part right here always rust out. That's why they sell these panels. So we're going to take a look with a magnet. Start up here. We're getting a lot of resistance, but as you go down, still get a lot of resistance, Now from here down, which is probably the lower 4 inches or so, we're starting to hit Bondo or putty, whatever you want to call it. So this right here is going to need some attention. That right there is the heater channel part. So we'll get a better look at the heater channel when we pull the body off the car. Again, we got rusted out fender. There's no sense checking that. We're not going to putty this, but for those of you who don't know, why is there a hole here? That's where the running board goes. So again, showing you the roof. Not really too much. They may have even leaded this thing back in the day, so I'm really not sure. You know, the owner didn't know, the owner's son didn't know, but we're getting good magnet there, good resistance there. But when you get into here, again, good resistance on the magnet. For those of you, again, some of you can say, well, why doesn't it have the moons here? Well, moons were from 70 and up, 71 and up, so this is a 68. We're not going to have that. But this area here is really known to rust out in those cars. So back to the fender. Told you we're going to replace this, but I'm going to show you on the inside. We do have some rust, which we can show you a better picture here. That right there is the floor sitting right there. So that is part of that, probably the rear parcel tray, which is under the rear window, and it goes, it's a common problem, but there's a triangle here. So we'll replace that, fix that corner, and possibly the inner fender. So we'll check that out when we pull the car apart. Let's grab the magnet again, guys. Keeping the rear deck lid. Again, we had a rear apron put on, all bent up, pretty bad shape, aligned. So we're going to get this addressed, possibly take this off and replace it again aftermarket. So this is just a basic 1500 single port motor. We'll get into that more as time goes on. I'll explain to you stuff like this, what that is. I'll explain to you the different stuff that makes the Autosticks what they are, why they have the vacuum advance, and a couple different other things as time goes on. Now we're over to the right hand side of the car. Again, same scenario. A little bit of surface rust, so we're going to put our magnet on it. We're getting good resistance, good resistance, good resistance, good resistance. Again, really good shape. Fender, probably going to end up replacing these things just because I'm sure they're rusted out. But you can tell it's had some work done, which what they started to do the work. And again, I'll explain to you what stuff like this is, that brace. I'll explain to you what that is down the road. There's no sense explaining it now. This right here is all surface rust that didn't get covered, so it got flashed. Again, a little bit of rust in this area, which is pretty common. The strut tower area, this section right here, you can tell it's got a little bit of little holy, little Swiss cheese there action going on. So more than likely, I will see what how in depth it is to put a whole entire fender well in there versus just these little cheap patch panels. Could be taking on more work than I realized, but again, we're in no hurry. So we're taking a look at the, this would be the right rear quarter of the Beetle. Again, do a magnet test. Very little resistance, so that's telling me that in this area right here, there's putty. But this has been knocked down. You can tell it's been finished a couple of times, and what they do is they take rattle cans and they spray it and they start block sanding this and block sanding it down so it becomes smooth, so you don't get that wavy action going on. So during all this, it's been prepped, and there's not, this is kind of a weird situation, but we'll take a look at this in, more, because there's very little, there's good resistance here, but for some reason when you get up higher, there's putty right there, a lot of putty for this in this area, but we'll take a look at that. So keep your eyes open for that. Again, in the door, you can tell it's been scuffed down to see what's been going on. There is a patch here. Very, very little body filler. Looks pretty good at the bottom of the door. We'll keep the doors probably. Again, now we're back up to the very front end. This is where the gas filler is, right behind the right front fender, the gas door area. Again, looks pretty clean. Don't see any evidence of body prep. Body filler. As we go down here, getting good tension on the magnet, so that's good. That's positive. Gonna look at the front cowl. Cowl looks really good. Usually what they do is they have a tendency to rust in this area because the seal stops here, is cut here on the factory ones, and they start leaking, come down here and rust this area out like this. So this still has really good solid backbone in it. I don't see no evidence of rust on the where the windshield will go. This is the lip that the windshield mounts on. Looks really good. The frame, the windshield frame, looks really, really solid. Are seeing some spots like this, but that's just, again, primer, guys. I think the car was painted once before in the mid 80s. I don't remember what the previous owner said. He refused. He had a whole entire folder of receipts and everything else, and just refused to give me that because that's what he wanted to remember this car as. So looking on the inside, it's a disaster. We have all the original OEM glass, which we'll explain that later. Looking at the battery tray, again, you can tell there's some holes back in the corner, some where you can see the floorboard. So we'll address this situation as time goes on. You can tell how long stuff's been sitting because that's a spider web. So this thing's been sitting quite a while, guys. Just a lot of miscellaneous junk. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to start. I've already started getting some part suppliers together. 98% of the parts are available. The Autostick parts are a little bit of hit and miss. So we'll try to plan that accordingly. Buy those way in advance and try to schedule the that stuff in as they go. So if you like this kind of content and you want to come along, we greatly appreciate you. We'll be more than happy to answer any questions. And guys, this is the first time I've gone really to this extent of a project. So if I don't know, I will tell you I don't know. But it's just about the same thing as the Super Beetle, the 72 Super Beetle. We're still working on the 70 convertible, but we're just going to focus on this because this is the one car that I care much about first. I reached out to you guys and you guys said, take which one matters to you the most. So this car matters to me the most. It may not be the best car of the bunch, but it means the most to me. So I think I can stay on top of this one. So let's, this has been going on way too long. So if you guys want to follow me, follow this content, hit that subscribe button, thumbs up, thumbs down, leave a comment below or don't. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless our great nation, the United States of America. Just be careful, be kind, be safe. We'll catch you on the next video and take care. Have a great day and stay warm, guys, in this crazy weather we're having.